find you fit and well. Then we'll be with you. For the M4s, come on. So we're slowly returning from winter break. So I've put somewhere. Get that. Let's type in these. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to do my civic duty, don't I? There we go. Stream manager up. Hidden behind my phone. Right, so this is round number 6 of the NxtGen FASTR BMW M4 League. This is lobby 1. Let's make sure I'm not being shouted at. No, we're good. Yeah, so lobby 1 then. Let's see what's saying here. Philo Weiss, yeah, the Weiss is a bit famous now for just dropping into leagues late and sitting in the pitch during quali and all that. He's a nice bloke, but takes the piss a little bit. Philo's here, right, wicked. Right then, so we've had our winter break. We're now back to the racing, back to continue the action. This is with the BMW M4s. Yeah, basically. Sardegna C. I'm not actually. Oh god, yeah. Luke's just had a technical issue. Stood up to go to the toilet, yanked the power cable out. Oh mate, oh yeah, I feel for you. P-Gib, how you doing? P-Gib, I'm actually working on the McGann video. You know, because I had to do it over 2 streams, mate. I'm trying to merge the videos. So I've downloaded the videos off Twitch. I'm actually now running. I've got the worst laptop in the world. I'm trying to get them to merge so that I can stick them all as one video rather than 2. So that might be up soon as well. I know you don't want to watch the second half, but you can watch quali. Can you edit out the spin? No, I'm afraid I don't have editing powers on the laptop. Any of my editing, mate, has to be done on Share Factory. But that is my backup plan, to get it on Share Factory. Try that. Aliens have landed. They have indeed, Bigsy. Yeah, so Sardegna C. Not a track I know too much about. I've driven this, weirdly enough, more in the reverse layout than I have in this layout. So, sorry, this way round. The reverse is actually, I think, a better track. A track where me and P1 Don famously battled out. Stood up and yanked the power cable out. I'll type a message in here. 1 minute. You've got a couple of minutes, Luke, anyway, but... Oh, is this... Oh, right, fair enough. I won't chat then. I won't say a thing. Right, so in terms of what's ahead of you then, just so you know what you're tuning in for if this isn't your normal, thing. So we're going to have a short qualifying session in a moment. That's 10 minutes, so that'll give us a grid for race number 1. That in itself is just a 10-minute race. We then have a reverse grid race. So as you're probably familiar with by the channel now, the results from race 1 get turned upside down, and we have another race here for a 10-minute duration. Now, the short duration of the race always leads to drama. There has been stuff happening, not in the sense of people have been getting smashed out of the way and stuff. It's just been good racing throughout it. Like basically Don, Philo, and Luke Mitchell, pretty much the entire race they've been nose to tail at the front, and then you've had a massive midfield battle as well with Sykesy getting involved, as Biggs is involved in that one usually. You got Duds now, Bruce Lee Harding's involved in it, Luke Doherty's normally leading the charge. Yeah, so there's some really good racing throughout the field in this. It's of course using the BMW M4 GT4s, so it's a spec series. In fact, we'll get you, we'll go and have a look. We'll watch P again. 1 minute. Yeah, so just a spec series, so all the cars are the same in terms of power and weight. The only thing that's different with the cars is the livery and the squishy organic bit that's doing the driving. We also are running the same tyres, so every driver's mandated to use the same tyre and tyre compound, and they don't have to do any pits. There is no fuel depletion, there is no tyre wear, so it is purely about the driver, their skill and their ability to navigate a 10-minute race. I guess some of the theory behind it being a 10-minute race is it puts less on strategy, and again just makes it all about how you can extract the most performance out of the car, which I like. I like the idea of that. You'll know I've commentated on the Siroccos before, the Megans most recently, and they all run the same sort of theory, that let's just make it about the driver, and you tend to sort of see who's got the biggest wiener after a couple of races. So might try these next season alongside the Megans. Yeah, the Megans are good, mate. Cheers for following Martin VXR, by the way, as well. You dropped to follow, I think it was tonight. It doesn't say, but yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, the good ones you on the NxtGen Racing page. They're always popping the events up, so come and get involved. They're a good bunch of lads as well. The group chats are usually good fun. Basically us taking the mick out of this man, but he loves it. Yeah, come and get involved. There's space, like I don't know what you're up to like in terms of this season, but there's space at the minute, because it's a new league, no one's really sure what to make of it, so you'll probably find these will be full next season, because everyone's like, oh, I like that. I'd love to say that's all down to me commentating on it, but it ain't. There's very little to do with it. Go on, Shadow Stalker. Let's have a look at the liveries. A lot of people are going for like rap style liveries, and I don't mean that as like Eminem, but these one piece graphics that you put on the side of the car. One person that hasn't done that, we'll go through it in a minute, is this Mandalorian livery from Sykes. It is ridiculous. It's just, yeah, it's an absolutely ridiculous car. Alright, quali is underway. What's the odds, ladies and gents, on Waste joining the lobby in about 2 minutes time? Wrong livery. I'll change it for race 2. Be fine. It'll be fine, mate. Right. 10 mins qualifying going. Oh, was that Shadow Stalker rocking my logo? Lots of cars rocking my logo, which I love to see, thank you very much. Let's get rid of that. Perfect. Yeah, so qualifying, like I say, is all about all-out pace. You don't have to worry about fuel burning or anything like that. I guess slipstream here is quite important. So getting a good toe will be critical to a good lap, I feel, unless you have just got all-out pace. The lap's pretty much dictated by one corner. Well, let's say 2 corners, because the last corner you can lose a lot of time up here as well. So get the exit of that corner wrong and you lose a lot of time, because you carry that mistake all the way back down to turn 1. It's a very long straight. So 18.05's first one to start our lap. So let's keep an eye on 18.05 for a moment. Yeah, so turn 1 is a inwardly cambered left-hander. You really want to hook your wheels on that inner apex to get the most out of the car. It's more inviting than it is, but that exit is dangerous. Bruce Lee Harding's going to take the reins to be the first one. I think 18.05 realised he made a mistake. And then you come down and through the S's. Again, you just got to be careful that your line is fine. You want to line yourself up for a good run into the last corner, hook the apex up on the inside, hug that corner and put your power down as soon as you can. Bruce Lee Harding, admittedly, there did go just a little bit too deep. Not big enough to cause him a huge loss of time. So his time for this one's going to be a 56.7. 18.05, we know his lap was ruined, so let's not pay too much attention for that. And it's Philo immediately in there. with the 56.4. I wonder if anyone can get into the 55s. I bet they can. I bet the 55s or the 54s even are still potential if you get a really good run at it. P1 Don, good to see him not lagging tonight. Expected to see him up in the thick end as well. He knows all about this track, don't you, Don? See what I mean by that wall? It's a killer. For the time being though, Philo tops the timesheets. Let's jump on board with Philo for a lap actually. So yeah, long straight in. It looks like driving into the mountains. As Luke Mitchell puts a pole time in there, 56.3, just beating Philo's time by 1/10 of a second. So braking here roughly around the 80 metre mark. Use your gears to slow the car down. See what Philo does there, just hooks on that inside curb, it grabs him round. Try and be a bit more gentle on the other curbs though, because they're not as friendly for some reason. Then again, you're looking for this 50 board start of the sand. You want to get on the brakes sharply down a gear and maximise it. Oh, Philo's just trying to hug that outside barrier and then, yeah, like I say, run down the hill. It's a good lap this from Philo. And then keep right as much as you can. Normally a lift as you're coming towards the top of the hill there just helps the car rotate right. As we see TP86 Racing now top the time sheet, top the shine sheet with a 56.3, immediately beaten by Bruce Lee Harding with a 56.3, and Philo with a 56.3 beats that as well. So the top 4 drivers separated by just over 500ths of a second. Well, they are separated by 600ths of a second, with P. Gibb or 2/10 behind pole time, so it's very tight here at Sardegna. What's the whole field? The whole field is 1.73 seconds apart, but it's the top of the field that is exceptionally close here. TP86 Racing does improve that time around. Bruce Lee Harding's backed out of that lap and he's just staying out of the way of other people. Luke Mitchell's going for another go at it. We're halfway through qualifying now, so we should start seeing those fast times really fly in. Philo's taking a really... Oh, that's going to lose him a bucket load of time. That's that. Thing is, that's that lap and the next lap pretty much ruined because he's not got the speed going up the straight that he did want to have. Traumatic Dave, new driver, 56.2 for Traumatic Dave. Where does that put him? 10th. A 56.2 is good enough for 10th. That's not right. Something ain't right with that. 1 minute. .56.8. That's why. My bad. Yellow flag's pretty much constantly. That's going to be a stapler tonight. Everyone's going to be making that mistake at that. You can see there's another car there getting out of the way. It looks like Biggs's car. So just a bit of a recap. And P1 Dodd with a 56.2 now. Beats Bruce Lee Harding's time by 200ths of a second. He goes top. Potentially temporarily though. Just improves that time round. Bruce Lee Harding, he's P2 at the minute, 56.3 for Bruce Lee Harding. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. 56.8 that time round for him. TP86 Racing next in line for the crown. He's 700ths of a second off pole time at the minute. Philo has dropped down the order. Philo is P5 now. He's potentially struggling just to get the final bit of pace out of that car. TP86 can't improve that time, does miss out. Luke Mitchell, who's hopefully now is relieved and his power cable's all back in. 56.3 is his best time so far. Philo's best time 56.3 as well, just 3,000ths of a second between him and Luke Mitchell. Mr. P. Gibbo for pole. He's going to be a tall order tonight for Gibbo, but he's good in qualifying. It's just a shame for him that it all comes undone in the race, typically. Luke Doherty, P7 for Luke at the minute, 56.6 with Moss in hot pursuit on a 56.7. Biggsy's just having a breather in the pits, 56.8 for Biggsy so far. Traumatic Dave, 56.8 for him. Darkside should just seen this lap come in. 56.9 for Darkside in the Mandalorian car. Dud's 56.9 also. Has never driven this track before. These are his first laps. Shadow Stalker 57.2. He's the first driver in the 57s, and 18.05 57.3. So will we see that 55-second lap time? Will we see it? And as Luke Mitchell has just stuck his car on pole, 56.2. P1 Don do anything about that? I don't think he can. He improves by 1/100th of a second. It's not really going to change the order though, but it is an improvement. Luke Doherty also improved, 56.5 for Luke Doherty. P7 for him at the minute. Not a huge improvement on his old lap, just a 10th, but it also improvements to happen because there simply isn't enough lap to extract the speed. And you see again just pushing too hard there as P1 Don also makes the same mistake, trying to dethrone Luke Mitchell from pole. Yeah, be race 2 ways. It's in qualifying mode, so it can't be it's one of the things can't be undone. Philo's having a mare. Philo is having an absolute mare with this one. He's running out of time to repair this. He'll get round to do another lap. So these are going to be last laps for most people now then. And just finish my tea. Beautiful. Let's have a quick peek at the timing sheets. These don't tell me too much because there's literally 2 sectors. TP86 Racing was on a personal best lap. He's just 500ths of a second away from Bruce Lee Hardy. He does improve. He actually goes P2 with a 56.2, 200ths of a second off Luke Marshall's time. Dethrones P1 Don, who is set in purple sector 1. So he's navigated that difficult left-hander nicely this time. He's took a few laps to test out what he can and can't get away with. Potentially a little bit scruffy on the last corner, but we'll see what that comes out with. His personal best times are 56.2, 56.266. Pole is a 56.224, and a 56.237 is what he does. So he shuffles TP86 Racing back down to P3. Let's have a look then. We are finishing off our laps now. I don't think there's many drivers still to put laps in. Philo is going to be one of the last ones, I think. Let's keep an eye on Philo. The bad news for Philo is it's not a good qualifying for Philo, I'm afraid. That's qualifying done and dusted. See, pole sitter is Luke Mitchell, 56.224. P1 Don, P2 with a 56.237. I got that in right at the depth. He's got another one to go. TP86 Racing with a 56.249 is P3 at the minute. Bruce Lee Harding, 56.303. He's P4 with Philo P5. I'm feeling it's just going to get rid of the screen in a minute. Pace is tight. Yeah, it's a short lap though, Gibbo. It's less than a minute, so I think in the race it's only 10 minutes, but it's just going to be a case of keeping your cool because it's so easy to lose time here. You can lose time so easily. So if you just keep it on the black stuff, you'll make positions up, no doubt. So here we go then. Race numero uno. Keeping my cool. Yeah, we can change New Year's resolutions and all that sort of stuff. So it's a long way down to turn 1. It is slipstream heaven here at Sardegna. Luke Mitchell's going to be punching a proverbial hole in the air for everybody. So 10 minutes ahead of us. We got 4 lights, we got 5. And now we've got none. Everyone seems to get away well. It looked like a car at the front there didn't get away brilliantly. That might have been Bruce Lee Harding's car. Could even be TP86 Racing. I think it is. Yeah, TP86 got a poor start and he's now been swarmed by Philo and Bruce Lee Harding. Philo trying to make a campaign to go up the inside, gets a nose in, so TP has to give him the respect that he's there, and for the time being keeping that position. But Philo is now on the inside. Luke Mitchell is making an escape at the front. P1 Don He's trying to keep with him. Philo has navigated 2 cars in 2 corners and he's back up to P3. He's up to P3 now. TPX6 Racing holding P4. Bruce Lee Harding in 5th. Luke Docks is up to 6 now already. P Gibb in 7th. We've got a change for the lead. Luke Mitchell and sorry, I don't know what happened there. My damn controller just turned off. Anyway, we should be back. We should be back. We should be back. So what you were missing out on there really was the battle between. Yeah, cool. The battle between Luke Mitchell and P1 Don. They've been side by side pretty much all the way down the straight. Then they are separated by a horsehair's width. P1 Don starting to lag a little bit. Luke Mitchell needs to try and make an escape. Philo's still holding that third position. I guess the good thing is I've not seen anyone really deck it yet. So Moss we know has got throttle problems. Oh yeah, he's had a big accident for Moss there. I don't know what happened to Moss, he just got it all out of shape. He was running down near the back anyway, but that's down to P13 for Moss. Meanwhile, right at the front, Luke Mitchell starting to make a breakaway. 4 tenths is the gap between Luke Mitchell and P1 Don. 1 and a bit seconds behind them is Philo. Philo though is starting to drop TP86 Racing, who's had nothing but problems from behind. Now it is Duds that is making a campaign for that P4 spot, followed by Biggsy. Traumatic Dave, I think this is Dave's first race, he's P7 at the minute. Luke Doherty down to P8, he's lost some ground somewhere. Oh, we've got further cars off. That is replayed, so we can go back and have a look at what happened there, but I want to say TP86 Racing was involved in that. Oh, he went too late there. He went too late. And yeah, unfortunately TP86 Racing nerfed himself down into P11 at the top. Then Luke Mitchell with a tyre on the grass. That's not even grass, that's sand, Chris. What are you talking about? Managing just about to defend to P1 Don. They are pulling the gap from Philo, who doesn't seem to be enjoying his time at Sardegna. Biggsy now up to P4. Traumatic Dave P5. Bruce Lee Harding P6. He didn't have a great start. P Gibb holding 7th at the minute, being chased down by 1805. Luke Doxey is in 9th now with Duds for company. What happened to Duds? So he was following TP86, so we're watching the same clip from before. You're going to see TP86 go deep here. Does Duds just follow him? No, they both made independent mistakes at the same corner, which is a shame because Duds was running quite high. Meanwhile, we've got a change for a lead. P1 Don is now ahead of Luke Mitchell, struggling to get in. That would have happened towards the end of the last lap. Sorry, I didn't catch that. I was too busy watching the chaos behind. This is what these 10-minute races were like. We're nearly halfway through. There's been so much happening already. It's so hard to keep up with it all. The top 3 breaking away then. Biggsy leading the pack from 4th right down to the back of the grid. The Care Bears car is taking care of business here at Sardegna tonight. Oh, P Gibbs had an accident. It seems every time I cut to this midfield pack, someone's making an error. The car just doesn't want to grip, and that's him down to P14 on last now, unfortunately for P Gibb. Meanwhile, right in the middle of the pack, we've got Luke Doherty battling away with Duds. Duds are on the off a couple of laps ago. We're trying to recover lost ground. Dark Sights in what is becoming one of my favourite looking cars of the series. P10 at the minute for him. We've got Moss and Shadowstalker fighting away behind it. Moss, who has his engineers have reported throttle problems with that car, so that car isn't, and you can see it on the telemetry, and the car just keeps blipping the throttle all by itself. That will cause turbo problems, that will give him issues. mean he won't have the acceleration or top end that he really needs to have. Meanwhile, at the top of the grid, P1 Don and Luke Mitchell still fighting away. Bruce Lee Harding and Bigsy having a bit of a scuffle now. What's happened there? Let's jump on board Bruce Lee Harding's car. Oh, we got later on the brakes. Nice move that by Bruce Lee Harding up the inside. Although there's an argument to be had that he's just punched a hole in the air for everyone. Philo's had an incident somewhere. That last lap for him was a 102.5. Philo's started to lag around a little bit, so potentially seeing some lorry issues tonight. There's all cars for me now. It's not just one car, it's all of them are just starting to float around a little bit. I'm glad to report I am getting new internet on Tuesday, so hopefully these issues won't be a long lasting thing. A drag race then down the main straight between Bigsy, Philo and Bruce Lee Harding. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. They're going to make this 3 wide. Bruce Lee Harding with the inside. Philo's going to have the optimal line, I feel, but he lets Bigsy carry on in front of him. Just 3 minutes remain of this contest now, coming down to the final laps. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Luke Doherty is keeping duds at bay. Traumatic Dave leading the next little pack containing 1805 and Dark Sights rounds out the top 10. TP86 Racing, who had great pace, he was right up at the thick of this at the start. He's been chased down by Moss, although we do know Moss is having engine problems. Oh no, TP86 Racing for the second time has made the same mistake. And he goes off there. Like I say, it's just crucial not to make mistakes down at that part of the circuit, because that is where the accidents will be happening. Yeah, Moss again. Moss has had to retire from tonight, I think, just because of the issues he's having. And it's Bruce Lee Harding up the inside on Philo. A nice move by Bruce Lee Harding to put him into the final podium position. We've got just 2 more laps after this one, I think. Plenty of time for this to change yet again. The top again separated by under 0.2 of a second. P1 Don and Luke Mitchell. This one's going to come down to the final corner of the final lap, no doubt, as they have been neck and neck pretty much the entire way. Bruce Lee Harding still ahead of Philo, but having to go defensive. Philo just going to try and get the optimal line out. He is going to get the power of the suck all the way up the main straight, though, is Philo, so anything could happen. Meanwhile, Bigsy, Luke Doherty and Duds now involved in a good fight for P5. Again, you can argue any of those could win that little battle. Dark Sights up to P9 after TP86 is off. Luke Mitchell then, is he back up? Yeah, Luke Mitchell just slipstreamed his way past P1 Don at the end of the main straight. No doubt P1 Don will just try and repeat that move at the end of the thingy. Philo did the exact same thing on Bruce Lee Harding. Bigsy then, Luke Doherty and Duds. This is a good battle to keep an eye on. This one is also going to go down to the last lap, which is coming up now. We'll keep an eye on where they slipstream themselves. Meanwhile, Luke Mitchell holds a half-second advantage over P1 Don. That's going to be just enough to help him defend into turn 1. Don's not going to be able to launch any massive attack down turn 1, so he's now really got to wait for the final corner. Philo coming under attack from Bruce Lee Harding, has to defend. Bruce Lee Harding drinks to the left last minute, but can't make anything happen. Bigsy again defending to Luke Doherty. These 3, that will go down to the final corner as well, no doubt. P-Gib and Shadow Stalker, they're battling away for P10. But I feel I really need to be watching everyone as they come across the line now. Don does go for a move down the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but I think Luke Mitchell's got a good exit as well. Oh yeah, P1 Don's got a bit of a tank slap on exit. This is going to be Luke Mitchell's race now. P1 for Luke Mitchell. Good race from both of these guys. P1 Don picks up a P2. The final podium spot is going to go to Philo. Just Bruce Lee Harding battled him all the way for that one. Bigsy just about fends off Duds. Luke Doherty lost out that lap. He finishes P7. Traumatic Dave P8 in the end. Darksykes in 10th. P Gibb, oh sorry, wrong button. P Gibb in 10th. He'll be disappointed with this one. That incident cost him nearly 20 seconds in the end. TP86 Racing, 12th for him. Again, he'll be disappointed. He had a couple of incidents and collisions with the wall, 3 in total, I think. And 1805 rounds out your grid. So that's race 1 of round 6, ladies and gentlemen. Just to confirm your winner as Luke Mitchell. Becoming a familiar sight this. We go into race 2 at the same track. I think we may just have a time of day reset, I'm not too sure, but we tend to race at different times of day, I think, and then reverse grid. That was a killer, the rear. Yeah, that's thing, P, because you're entering that corner, because it's a, I call them loading corners, I don't know what the official term is, but basically it's where you're putting a lot of aerodynamic load on the tyres. And the second those tyres lose grip, that's it. You spin me right round, baby, right round. So yeah, it was kind of game over from there. But there was a lot of people that just through keeping it clean, staying off that part of the track, picked up positions. You know, Traumatic Dave. There was. Well, I was going to use Duds as an example, then I realised he did it as well. Bigsy, I think he kept himself largely out of trouble. Yeah, no, good fun, mate. Good fun. Did I tap Philo's rear or was I turned around on that one? I've got to be honest, I'm not too sure. Not too sure, mate. I don't know if I saw it, because the problem is with these cars on this track, yeah, we've had a time of day set. I miss more than I see. Only here for the crack, yeah. Mate, you had a good battle with Philo. You had a good battle with Philo. It was good to watch. I think Luke Mitchell's pulled his power cable out again. So I seem to get away with it. I think it'll happen, lads. It'll happen. I'm only here because there's no on telly. Oh, you just saw it in livery. Cool. Okay. That's fine. Have you changed your livery then? Because you've run the Ibanez livery the entire season. Didn't know you got a new one. It was last going on that one, made it funny in the live, so we'll start doing donuts. Yeah, it happens, mate. The thing is, like, on paper this circuit does not look technical. I can tell you it is. To get the most out of this lap, you have to be on it. You have to know your turnings, you have to know your braking-ins. If you over brake and you've got your brake balance to the front, then you're understeering. If you got it set to the rear, then you still might understeer because you're not getting that lateral grip. This is the original version for a different championship. Oh, right, fair enough. Yeah, I've done a race here, but reverse layout, so I'm going the other way, and I've got to admit that's a lot of fun as well, because that left-hander that you're struggling with becomes a blind right-hander over a crest, and the car just goes light at the top. It is scary. I did it in GT3s as well, so yeah, we're gonna laugh that one. So we're just waiting for race 2 to get underway. We shouldn't take too long. Wait for Luke to get himself back in the room, and then we can set the order. There he is. Dunman is here. Yeah, none of them do, mate. None of them do. Weiss is getting his eye in. Sorry for MMR again. Let's see if Waste finds out what the wall's all about, shall we? Look for the sand, Waste. Sharp brake. See, too late for 1805. His turning was too late, but he took a bit of extra speed off to help him. So he got there. I was getting some horrible internet tonight. Yeah, getting fibre. I'm currently on BT's most basic broadband at the minute. I'm getting a download of about 3 megabytes per second and an upload of about 400 kilobytes. Yeah, it's like being back in the 90s again, mate. Won that track in the minis. So you know it then. You know the track. Different driving style in the Mini to a BM now. There you go, he's done it. Waste knows. Beautiful numbers. Yeah, mate, it's bad. Even fibre here, fibre, you can't get the super fast stuff, you can only get pretty much standard fibre. So I think they said it'd be between 58 and 60 something. But it'll be solid, and I don't need much more than that. Like, I don't have a lot of devices connected. I tend to run my phone, my daughter's tablet, and my PS4 off it, and it's rarely at the same time. What's quality times? Low 56s, 56.2s I think were the top times. But pretty much everyone were running in the 56s at the end, pretty much everyone. So, but you weren't getting that in the race. Most people in the race were getting like 57s. Like, so don't worry about quali pace. Yeah, quali's 56.2s. Should be on screen for you, mate. Alright then, race 2, reverse grids. So we chuck the fast guys to the back of the grid and watch chaos ensue for another 10 minutes at Sardegna. We've got 5 lights. We haven't any more. We've got a lot of cars. Waste is in reverse for some reason. But we get away anyway. 1805 leads the field down to turn 1 for the first time. This is P. Gibb's opportunity, I feel. P. Gibb has a good opportunity here to get a result out of this. Mandalorian car is looking like it might use the force to get himself into a good position as well. He instead loses one to Luke Doherty. P1 Don gets shuffled onto the sand, and Shadowstorm is starting to make a little bit of a run for it. 1805 trying to follow him down. P. Gibb up to 3rd now, making a campaign for that 2nd position spot. And we have a car off already. That is a little bit of contact there with P. Gibb, but he manages to hold it. And we can go back and have a look at that. I'll wait till people are on the straight and we've got less stuff happening on to go and have a look at that. But yeah, that was non-intentional. Just a car lost it on the apex. This is P. Gibb's opportunity to make something happen, I think. Nice. Velo's off as well. So yeah, P. Gibb was alongside, actually backed off to make sure he didn't tap 1805, held it nicely. Do we get to see what happened to Philo, or will the replay cut off by that point? It will probably cut off. Look at P1 Don just storming his way through. Oh, he just got too late on the brakes. Yeah, he got too late on the brakes and either turned himself around or got sent round. Luke Doherty now up to P1. Mr. Gibbo has been relegated down to 2nd. Darkside's now 3rd, and strong for him. P1 Don making an early campaign. We've got, who else? We've got 1805 in 6th. Waste from the back of the grid. Started the race in reverse. He's now in 7th position. Getting a lot of lobby glitching again. Luke Mitchell doesn't look like you've changed that livery, mate. It looks exactly the same. I hate to break it to you. It looks exactly the fucking same. And everyone at the back is pretty much everyone that's made some sort of error somewhere along the line. Darkside then has made a jump up to P2. Must have got that move made at the end. At the end of the last lap. Because the Mandalorian car has now been shuffled down the order. Every time I cut away and go back, something's happened. Oh yeah, he just got shuffled back by that. Okay, I'm just the bullies. Bullies! That's what they are, Sykesy. Bullies, have them. Can't have these aliens treat you like that, mate. So it's still sorting itself out. You kind of get the feeling there's a few out of look. I mean, look at this. We've got Philo in P9 at the minute. Just about avoiding the pit wall as well. That pit wall is not FIA approved, a solid concrete wall pretty much in the middle of the racetrack. Biggsy's gone very deep there. That's Biggsy off the circuit. It's going to pretty much put him right down to the back. I didn't see any other moves being made down into that corner. We've got Wace up to 5th now. Running it in the low 57s. Yeah, the race pace is in the 57s for most people. You tend not to see him run 56s, it's just far too risky. TP86 and Traumatic Dave having a good little battle. 1805's left the room, not too sure if that's a disconnect or any other issue. Let's see what happened to Biggsy then. I think he just forgot about his brake pedal. Too busy watching where Wace was. Yeah, just too late on the brakes. And unfortunately, nothing you can do about it at that point, and that is relegating you right down to the back. Meanwhile, leading the way, Luke Doherty, 1.1 seconds ahead. He's got his friend behind him, Mr. P1 Don, who's just put a 56.9 on the board. They're then followed by Gibbo, who is being followed by Sykesy. Sykesy's halfway into the race, running just outside the podium positions and setting purple sectors as well. So the Mandalorian car is using some sort of special superpower to extract all that lap pace. Oh, he even had a look there at P-Gib, but wasn't able to make it count in the end. Philo 7th now, he's made a couple of positions up. Luke Mitchell must have had a nightmare last round. He what a 102.5 last time out for Luke Mitchell, an absolute nightmare of a lap. A good 4 or 5 seconds off the pace. Now back in the groove of it with some 56s. Oh, Sykes has had enough. Something's happened here to Mr. Dark. Sykes is running in P4 with Gibbo in front and Wace behind. So we're just watching the replay of that. Does he just forget about his braking point? He's on the brakes, he just gets out of shape on braking, and that's just going to lose him a lot of position. Once you get out of shape on that corner, it's very hard to recover the speed. You pretty much have to shave all your speed off just to get the rotation on the car. And it's still battling away, so it's now a fight between Wace and Bruce Lee Harding for that P3 spot. Bruce Lee Harding has been the silent assassin this time round, holds the fastest lap of 56.135. And he's now making that move up to P3. Wace is going to try and fight him at the apex. Bruce Lee Harding, though, with the inside line, able to keep that position. I think Wace will struggle with this one because the next corner's a left-hander as well. Probably better off backing out of it and waiting for another day, because he might just get shuffled to the outside, and he does. He's trying his best. It's a good battle between these two. Yeah, Wace just has to have to concede for the time being, but he can slipstream back down the main straight, and hopefully that should be enough. Philo with a good move down the inside there on P-Gib. That was a thing of beauty. That was Philo. So look at how far back he is here. He's got the channels in a Daniel Ricciardo. He's really late on the brakes, aims straight for the apex. Gibbo kind of got hustled out by Wace. Trying to attack that third position once more, but Bruce Lee Harding defends very nicely. Philo up to 5th now. Darksight's 7th at the minute. We've got Duds in 8th, Luke Mitchell 9th, he's battling away with Traumatic Dave. Big Z in 11th, Shadow Stalker 12th, and TP86 is down in 13th. He had a pretty sordid first few laps to TP86, and that's sort of lost him quite a lot of time. P1 Don then vying for the lead of the race. Luke Doherty wants to try and keep this position if he can, because there's not a lot of time left for P1 Don to get that move made, but with a short gap between them coming up the main straight, slipstream may be entirely possible. Let's keep an eye on that. Does P1 Don go for the move down into turn 1? Luke Doherty goes semi-defensive, doesn't want to hamper his exit speed too much, and not too much P1 Don's able to do about that. Philo's having a look at Bruce Lee Harding. Again, Bruce Lee Harding doing the same as he did before, but unfortunately on Philo it doesn't work this time out. So yeah, Philo just able to drive it round the outside in the end. A good move by Philo, but we do have yellow flags out up ahead. Who's this for? Is that for Luke Doherty? It is for Luke Doherty. He's had an off somewhere. What's happened to him? Oh, he just carried too much speed and hit the wall at full pelt, and unfortunately that's relegated him from 1st down to 8th position, battling away with Luke Mitchell and Traumatic Dave. We've got yellow flags out again. Who's that for? Who's spun round? Is that Gibbo? It is Gibbo. What's he done? He's coming up to the last corner. He does get tapped a little bit by Duds, but I'd probably argue that's a racing incident. Duds had a right to be there. Again, not too sure what to make of that one. Philo's not got enough time to catch P1 Don unless Don makes a mistake. This is his race to lose now. Philo holding P2 Waste from the back of the grid, started the race in reverse. P3 is arguably a great result for him. If he continues this, probably just going to get one more lap out of this. Most drivers should just get one more lap out of it. Wace is actually making an argument for that P2 spot, shuffles Philo out of the way. That was a nice move by Wace, very bold, because now he's just going to be punching a hole in the air for Philo as we go down the main straight. Philo went deep on brakes, so that's what invited the move. This might be an opportunity to hold that position through the inside. Yeah, I thought if they start fighting too much, that might invite a move from Bruce Lee Harding. Time is up then. Every driver getting another lap in, so let's have a little look. P1 Don is 6 seconds in the lead. Not much point covering P1 Don at the minute because there is action going on behind him, and I think this trio of Wace, Philo and Bruce Lee Harding, it won't finish like this. Something tells me it won't. Philo with the lunge down the inside, he does the same to Wace that he did to him a lap ago, and a lovely move by Philo. Bruce Lee Harding's going to try and get involved in the action as well. It's now just a pure drag race to the line. Don wins the race, and it's going to be Philo P2, Wace P3 by 0.07 of a second, and Bruce Lee Harding in 4th. Duds finishes 5th, Luke Doherty 6th in the end, Darkseid 7th, Traumatic Dave 8th, Luke Mitchell, that's going to hamper his championship hopes somewhat, 9th, P Gibb in 10th, Big Z in 11th, Shadow Stalker 12th, and TP86 Racing rounds out your grid in 13th. So that's your racing then. I kind of have to give special kudos, I guess, to Wace. I think Wace and Philo, because Philo had a couple of mistakes tonight. It was rusty. Philo was very rusty, but he still delivered some really good results out of it. Wace hadn't raced this before, you know, hasn't raced the BMWs here, so please you caught that save lap 1. Yeah, I did. I even replayed it. There's loads I missed though. It seemed every time I went on like the midfield, someone was having an accident. Yeah, wheel on the grass, yeah. Twice I got caught from, but yeah. Yeah, the thing is, P-Give, it's gonna happen. I don't know. You won't get FIA approval for this circuit, would you? Can you imagine? Can you imagine GTs here? Be carnage. But yeah, it was a good race, mate. Right, so what's coming up then? So I'm hopefully getting new internet on Tuesday. That should help. In terms of channel activity, starts getting busy again now, as I would have commented on Thursday night. So in terms of commentary schedule, live comms is still just with the NxtGen guys. So it's the Thursdays and the Sunday nights that I'll be doing. So Thursdays at 8, Sundays at 9. I'm with the MRC guys for their GT3 League on Wednesdays, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. That'll be live from 8:30. And then post-race stuff would be the Infinity GT Manufacturer Series on Wednesdays, and the MRC GT TCC on Fridays. So keep an eye on YouTube and Twitch for all the content dropping. There's going to be tons of it over the coming weeks. I'm dreading it, to be fair. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Yeah, I'm covering 5 leagues at the minute, live and post race. It's ridiculous. So yeah, have to spud for me to drive over. Nice one. Right, that is it from me. I'm just going to jot away and try and do a little bit of practice for my race on Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in as always. Really appreciate your support. If you've not followed the channel, please do. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it just means you get notified whenever we go live. So if you enjoy watching this sort of stuff, you'll get little notifications to tell you that I'm doing some. Over on YouTube, we do a lot of the post-race comms. I also re-upload all the Twitch streams up onto there as well. So YouTube is a really good place to go and subscribe. You pretty much catch everything there, although if you want to see it live, Twitch is the place to be. Right, so thanks for tuning in. I will catch you all in the next one. I'm going to go and find a lobby to go and have some fun in, and I'll see you all next time. Good night. Bye bye.